Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with another group stage where we are going to be racing craigSMB3 versus Antlerz. I am joined on the comms booth with Meowth of Team Rocket.
Hey everybody, Meowth here. Nice to see you all again. I know it's only been a couple of days, but you know.
Yes, indeed. And we are going to be joining these two runners from Group I, which stands for I don't want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this either. We're going to have a back-to-back. Definitely stay here. Don't go anywhere. Don't change your browser. You're going to want to watch this. We've got a couple of really, really great matchups. Meowth, what can we expect to see in this one?
Well, right now, Craig's going in with a record of 0-2, so I think he knows that his tournament life could be on the line here. But Antlerz could be a bit of a challenge and get in between him and his dreams of making some SMB3R history. Absolutely. And it looks like we're going to be starting off on World 3.
A very fun one to start off with. Obviously, there will be no double hammer strats here because, of course, the runners do not start with any items. And it looks to be a fun one to get started here for them.
And just like that, both of them take an early fall.
World 5-8 is not one to be trifled with, especially if you can't get this P speed up quite fast enough. You can do it by hitting the first 3, maybe 4 if you absolutely need it platforms, which we just saw Antlerz do. Looking good so far. He's got to stay away from that Lakitu. He's wanting to go after a power-up, and I think that is the wrong move. There are other power-ups you can get later in the game. Wait and get those later.
Both of them, it looks like, are having a little bit of trouble, and Craig takes another spiky fall.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of deaths on both sides. I was asked to not roll the C, but I didn't listen, and I did it anyway. So these guys are going to be starting off with a 5-8.
You're a bad boy. You're bad, man, Growler.
Yes, I am a very good seed roller when it comes to rolling really bad seeds. So 5-8, we're currently still on for both.
This is the first stage.
Zone tracks, this is a nightmare building at this point.
And wait, did Antlerz just restart?
Yeah, Antlerz did just take a game over, so he's going to have to restart. No big deal here. I don't think that that's a bad decision on his part. Because 5-8 is really giving him a lot of issues.
It's giving both of them issues. Even as Craig's finally beaten it. And if he gets a game over here, he's going to have to do it all over again.
Right, you are. With a level and a game over, that would mean he has to play the level over again. And it looks like Antlerz may actually have to do it over.
And this seed has been, as LOZ would call it, a complete noun. And we have barely even started.
I have been corrected. I do apologize. It looks like Antlerz has not gamed over, but he has done a reset of the game a couple times. Again, not a bad decision because the speed is the factor there. And game over does take a few moments to actually play through and everything. With this being the very first of the game, the very first level, it's really no big deal for him to do that. I think right now the one we need to be watching, though, is craigSMB3 because he's sitting there with 0 lives. And at this point, if he does take a death, that means he has to start all the way over.
And now Craig's in the level I like to call, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Very nice. It looks like he is going to be going for the power up here. He is rewarded with the mushroom. I think that is a breath of relief for Greg. Right now, the biggest thing we have to be looking for is that another death, where Antlerz is just trying to get through 5-8 for the first time.
Oh my goodness, this is... The year is 2150. Antlerz is still trying to get through 5-8. Thank you, Mayo Rabbit.
craigSMB3 can breathe a little bit now. He did complete the fireworks. Not something you usually want to see in the vanilla game, but we're not playing vanilla. We're playing randomizer, and that is definitely welcomed, especially going into the Navy.
In the Navy, be all you can be. In the Navy, and you can sail the 7 seas.
We got Swordmaster Guy with the SpongeBob meme reference, 2 hours later.
Old narrator quit, and they had to hire a new lady. New things.
Chat and basically anybody who has ever played through the randomizer knows how ridiculously twisted this is for a startup on randomizers. And we're not done yet. It looks like 8.1 has come out to play over on craigSMB's side, which the only thing he's figured out though so far is that the lock has to be broken in order for him to go on. This is a terrible World 3 to start with. I love it.
We are twisted men. Well, you're a twisted man, I'm a twisted Pokemon.
That's going to be another reset on the side of Antlers. I can't say I blame them. In fact, at this point, you might as well just do it every couple so you're not wasting all your lives on the same level. Because you've got a long way to go, and you're not even out of World 3 yet. We're 5.5 minutes in, and we still got Antlers working on 5.8.
Has this ever happened before?
Oh,
yeah. And Antlerz finally completes it!
Zero Wing, as far as I know, and I'm still getting caught up on all the rules and everything, no, a reroll is not possible, and even if it was, I'd roll the next one. So, you know, you should be thankful it's a 5.8 and not like 7.5 or 7F2 or something like that.
Atlantis.
An 8.1 start, that is, I mean, that's like on my level of rolling stuff. That's a little scary. But we do have Antlers currently moving on finally. He is taking on some giant creatures, and he's going to play a little bit safe, decide not to go for the item up above, and he'll be going for a death at the end. How unfortunate. So that does mean
this seed has not been kind to Antlerz.
No, it absolutely has not. And this seed has been rolled. Well, I rolled it, but it is the flag set that was picked up by craigSMB3. So hopefully the advantage does swing in Antler's favor in the next one, where he gets to pick his flags and he gets to do things a little bit different. So hopefully that plays out to help him. Because right now the biggest thing that Antlerz has to get through is his mind. And right now, you're playing on SpeedGaming 2. You just took 5.5, 6 minutes to get through 5.8, and now you're struggling. You've already lost 2 lives in the last 2 levels, respectively. Nerves are high at this point. You know, you've got to be craigSMB3. For all he knows, Craig may not have game overed at all, or taken a death, or anything like that in 5.8. You know, it's one of those levels that could be hit or miss depending on the move set, the enemy set, I should say. And at this point, you know, Antlerz has to feel like he's behind. But from our point of view, Craig has to feel the exact same way.
Absolutely. And Antlerz taking a fall from the boomerang, bro.
Pulling up some information here real quick, trying to get some more information on the seed. I believe end cards are allowed, and we saw craigSMB3 do that just a moment ago. And of course, speaking of 7F2, and there it is.
Seven F2, one of those stages where, and Antlerz keeps getting nom-nommed. And remember, if he game overs here, he has to do it all over again.
Absolutely. And that is going to be a big boss on 4-2. That should be a lot of fun here for Antlers. Hopefully he gets through without any issues. Meanwhile, craigSMB3 is able to get through no problem at all. And I was just reading up on some of the comments from this bracket, or this tournament flag set that we have, and it looks like SMB3, craigSMB3, has picked basically a pretty vanilla setup. There's really no issues with the levels. It's hammers, break blocks, and an in-card game. So a few more options to get some items here. So we'll expect our guys to go after some items that maybe they normally wouldn't go for. Watch for Hammer Brother plays. That's going to be a factor for sure. And watch for items to come out. I fully expect hammers to be a very expensive, very worthwhile item. Russell Jr. apparently decides to flex on us and has mentioned that he has SMB3 Rando and Swedish Fish. So unless you've decided to share with the whole class, just share.
You know the rules. If you mention you have candy, you have to bring some for everyone.
That's okay. I've actually got Zots here, which are fun little candies. They're hard, and then they have like a fizzy center. So, we're still good. But with that, we have craigSMB3 going through World 8 Fortress, and that's going to be the end of Boom Boom. And now Antlers is looking for his fight with the 4-hitter combo meal from Wendy.
I believe LOZ would call that a Baconator combo.
Well, now I'm just hungry.
Oh, tell me about it.
Antlers is currently fighting Wendy. He's got, I want to say, just another hit or two left. But once those 3 rings come out, man, it gets scary.
Oh! And Antlerz takes a game over. He has to do it all over again. Oh! Oh!
That is really unfortunate, because what that means is that is 5-8 again. And if he had broken any of the lock, he'd now be able to pretty much go straight there. But unfortunately, he did not. And he's going to have to go back around the long way and do his best to get through without taking another game over.
Oh, and he falls.
Definitely get your F's out in chat for Antlers. What a twisted, sick way to start a seed.
Oh, you gotta feel for him. You gotta feel for him.
I mean, I don't, but maybe we should. I don't know. I think I am going to turn on the commentator curse and also mention 7-5. We haven't seen it yet. 7-5, 6-6. There's still some levels that we could throw in here. We've got a disappearing Lemmy so far. It looks like he wasn't high enough up to where Craig could actually get the fireballs on there. Really doesn't matter though. Lemmy is pretty much just a giant teddy bear if you've got a fire flower. And that is going to spell the end of the second world in our randomizer. And as always, get your guesses in for the next. Where do you think we're going next?
I'm guessing World 1.
I'm thinking World 7. I'd sure like to see the Vine maze come up for our guys. We got a little bit of a strategy from Jopo, and I definitely have to agree. Antlers is definitely concerned about keeping the power up. Just damage boost. At this point, you have to play aggressively. You have to play like every level matters, and you just have to get through it. At this point, unfortunately...
Well, every level does matter.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying, is you've got to get through the level. You can't be focused on having a mushroom for what if on the next one. You have to get through these levels. And that is going to be an in-card game. We saw craigSMB3 work on this a little bit prior, and he is going to be going for a few matches. Got the 20 coin, the 10 coin, and the mushroom so far. We'll see what those items do.
And Craig is just clearing the table.
He has the hammer that he was looking for. That is a great sign for him. Instead of having to play a required, well, most likely required 3 levels, because the first one may not have actually broken the lock. He said, you know what, I'm done with it. I'm going to go on, play the coin chip, get out of here, and we'll find Larry at the end of this level.
Oh, and also, I want to point out, I was right.
Yes, you were. World 1 was next, and it's that time again. It's another world coming up here in just about a minute and a half, depending on how the fight goes. Shouldn't be too bad. But go ahead and get your guesses in. I'm going to stick with mine of World 7.
I'm going to go with World 2.
We have
Larry's a 1.
0.
Larry's only got 2. He's not a mini shrimp, but he's not a big shrimp either.
Now, somewhere in the middle of just right. We got a hot take from Zero Wing. Whatever it is, it's going to be bad. Well, let's hope so. And it looks like Antlerz is out of World 1. Breathe a sigh of relief. That part's over. The rest is smooth sailing from here, right?
And, oh, I was right again!
Right, you are. World 2 has come up, and it looks like it's going to be a wicked start yet again. He's going to have to start with a fortress. That's kind of interesting, really early on. And there's only one set here.
Well, I'm not sure you should roll seeds anymore.
I disagree. I think this is hilarious.
I know, but I don't know if I'm messing with you, man. You know that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's good fun. That's why we're here. We're here to have a good time and to laugh at the expense of the runners, because that's what we do. We're horrible people.
It's called Schadenfreude.
That's going to be the first in-card spade game for Antlerz. So hopefully he can clear up a few bits here and get some items going in his favor.
And he actually gets a few matches.
And good grief, that is a lot of Tanuki suits. He had like 4 in there. So if Fort Knox or some of those other ones come up, he's going to have the Tanuki suits ready for it. Hopefully he'll just be able to use it in time. If not, it very quickly may become a mushroom in disguise. We'll have to wait and see. And you hear it first, the male rabbit has claimed the people demand more growl seeds. So you ask for it, you're going to get it.
And we've got 3 others. Well, you've got 5 other seeds today to rolls, and I've got 3. This could be Slaughterfest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you don't want to go anywhere. You don't know what you're going to miss. And the seed last night was a lot of fun for me. Again, not so much for the runners. We had like 7-5, then 7F2, then 6-6, like back to back to back. It was wonderful. I mean, terrible. It was absolutely terrible. So bad.
Well, it was terrible in the end because JLo had some difficulties.
Actually, J-Lo did a very good job of staying safe and doing his best not to take a death, which I have.
Well, no, but what I mean is the technical ones for the second race.
Oh, yeah. He did have some technical difficulties, but they are going to reschedule. I think that's a really cool way to do it. I think, with some of the newer runners, Demon Battler, I think, I'm sorry, Meowth, I think you can also agree to this as well. Having those races, if nothing else, just helps to get the feeling down of how to race, of what you're looking for, and things like that. So I think the experience is still really a good thing. But, it is unfortunate we couldn't finish it off last night.
Head Yak saying, I demand nothing.
Indeed. It looks like Antlerz is just finishing up. And moving on to the sun level, this was always a good fun, except it looks like vacation.
Wait, we got a sand level in the sand world. Fred!
Yes, indeed. It looks like 2-2 is not playing nice either. craigSMB3 just doing his absolute best to just keep swimming and get out of there as fast as possible. He is able to do so, and looking good so far. It looks like he's back, ready in the groove, and good to go. Antler's taking just a little bit of time, has opted to stay with the tail and not a fire flower. I think that's a little bit interesting. I think he's just wanting to play a little bit more safer here. Not a bad call, if I'm being honest.
Can you blame him?
No, I really can't. I've had a number of seats before where you just want to get through the levels, just get through the levels, just do it.
And I think Antlerz may have intentionally gone for the fanfare.
I completely agree. I totally think that it's a very good chance, or a very good option here for him to go for the fireworks. You know, it's an extra 5 1-ups. It's a very minimal chance for him to go and, you know, take a game over at this point, which you hate to see. You know, we definitely want a good race here and a good decision, I think.
And we're having a little bit of a freezing difficulty with the Antlerz. We'll try to get that fixed real quickly. And there we go. And now both of them are having some problems. And internet service provider, incredibly silly providers, more like it. They'll replace the S with something else.
Looks like
Trails, he had a lot of difficulty with the very first stage. Both of them did, to be fair.
Yeah, World 5-8 definitely took a lot of time for Antlerz. He was finally able to get through about 6 minutes in, and then he was on a fight with Wendy and took a death, which wound up being a game over, which meant he had to start all over again from the beginning.
And we see Craig going up against Morton, who is actually pretty salty today.
Yeah, just a little bit, no big deal. Antlerz finishing off the Air Force here. I was curious about this. So Antlerz having a really good heads-up play there. He did not utilize a hammer. I'm not even sure he had one, if I'm being honest. But he did not use a hammer where craigSMB3 did. So if he does have a hammer, he's now got one for later, where it could be a lot more practical. We'll be interested to see if that actually comes out to play.
A vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
And just like that, I'm going to mess this up. Gernardinator finally got World 5.
Hey, I have trouble with that name too. Good. Could you say how you say your name in chat, please? Gernardate, Gary.
We will come back to that. Meanwhile, we have craigSMB3 currently making his way through the upper part of this level. This level was featured on Mitch Flowerpower's points tournament that just concluded within the last month and was very exciting. What a wonderful way to bring a little bit more spotlight onto this game that we all know and love so very much. And what a way to do that.
Yes, Gary. Thank you, Mayo. Mitch actually has already qualified for the bracket stage with a 6-0 record. He's got a perfect so far.
Very impressive. Well, meanwhile, I will still continue to work on saying Gernardinator, but for now, we have Antlerz finishing up his coin ship, and he is rewarded with a P-Wing. Meanwhile, craigSMB3 missed the star, so, well, fortunately, he does get another one. That is going to spell an orb in the fight with Boom Boom here.
And he gets the upside down orb. as Antlerz goes into the third airship and he's going up against Larry. And as we all know, Larry is average size, not just below average sized.
Yeah, not too bad at all. And he does have those 2 stars lined up, but he also has 9 lives. I'm curious if he does decide to go after another fanfare. We'll have to wait and see. I think at this point you're probably wasting more time than actually gaining, and you've already got the 9 lives. We'll see what he decides to do here. craigSMB3 taking just a little bit of damage to finish off his level. Not a bad idea. That one can definitely get in and become a problem very quickly. He made it through the first time, no big deal. You can always power up later. And with that, he will utilize a music box. I think that's an interesting call.
And I want to point out that Tower in World 5, one of the few things that will always stay the same. As Antlerz gets smooshed, gets turned into a Mario pancake. Plumber souffle.
Indeed, a lot of thwomp action here right now as craigSMB3 is working his way through the tower, whereas Antlerz is just trying to get through his fortress and find the fight with Boom Boom. Alright, he is able to avoid the last thwomp. Let's hope nothing goes wrong with this fight here.
As a famous character once said, what could possibly go wrong?
In my experience with randomizers, especially seeds that I roll, everything can go wrong.
Still waiting for the day this tower is randomized between the other pipes. Cute, tail dog.
I'm still waiting.
I like Joe Post's response, or as Barry Burton says, you were almost a Mario sandwich.
I think Paradox is onto something though. I feel like not only should we have the tower randomized with the other pipes, but I would like to see the pipes transgress worlds. So not only could you possibly go through a pipe and wind up in a different world, you've got to find the one out of the 7 that takes you to Bowser's Castle.
I think that would be too much of a game breaker. And in fact, they explicitly said wrong warps and warp whistles are not allowed in the tournament.
I think that's just rude, and I'm going to petition for it now. Because I think that I'm in full agreement, Nanoha. I think that would be absolutely outlandishly wonderful, and I would sign up to do commentary on every single race that one has.
Yeah, but then the matches would last like 5 minutes. It'd be like, all right, and here we start, and he's beating Bowser.
Maybe. I mean, if it's the first pipe takes you to Bowser's Castle, yeah, that would be a problem. Otherwise, you could take over an hour to do it, depending on how the pipes all work out and everything, because you would have to check everything.
And we have a glitch. And we have a glitched blooper.
Anyway, back to where we are. I think Gernardinator has a very valid point as well. 100% boss bass spawn. I think that should also include the toad houses as well as the pipes. Just saying.
Okay, now I think you're starting to get a little sadistic.
That's what we do. Antlerz currently working on the World 1 Fortress. Not looking like he's going to go after the item here. He doesn't yet have a wing to do so. We'll see if he picks one up here. Does not, but he will go after Boom Boom with Fire Flower. craigSMB3 utilizing that strategy that we were talking about to get more items and is rewarded with a hammer. What a heads-up play. I mean, in World 4, not a whole lot left. I mean, we've got World 7 left. We haven't seen that one yet. And craigSMB3 playing a heads-up play to go after a hammer brother that just so happens to have a hammer.
Defeat a hammer, take a hammer.
I'm saying. But that's going to be craigSMB3 on World 3's first fortress that we come to after playing 3-1 and 3-2. And what a way. What a way to go ahead and get a hammer going into World 7. Even if you can't use it in World 7, I think it's a really good option to hold on to for World 8.
You realize World 7 is going to be World 7, right? Fred!
Absolutely. And we'd like to welcome the group from SpeedGaming 3. They just raided with a party of 25. Welcome. We are currently in a group stage randomizer SMB3 race between craigSMB3 and Antlerz44. It has been a grueling seed so far, as evidenced by the fact that craigSMB is finishing the 6th world in 30 minutes. Antlerz is able to finish off World 4, which was Vanilla World 2, grabs the wand, and is going to return it to the king before making on his merry way.
Craig going up against Iggy, who is a barely functioning nerd today. Oh, it's CLY, a randomizer in that nearly everything is shuffled. Worlds, enemy placements, power-ups, anything you can conceive. There's only a few things that stay the same in order to ensure that every single stage can be beaten.
It's kind of like we took all the levels, all the bosses, everything like that. We shook up the bag and said, here, pick some. And that's what they get to play. We've added some of the lost levels. We've added a couple of little things that make it a little bit more interesting. All the notes from the princess, as well as some of the other things that are said, like what the king says at the end of the worlds, has all been changed as well. They had a contest at one point, and anything that got entered was reviewed and put into the game as well. So there's a lot of things that can actually be added. Some of them are quite funny. Some of them are dad jokes that may or may not be funny. I'll let you be the judge of that, but it's a good time.
You think Fred's ever going to let us put some new stuff in?
We will have to see. I don't know. They tend to do a really good job of figuring stuff out. I know there's a lot of guys that work on that. craigSMB3, I know he's been a part of that as well previously. So I don't know. Maybe it's something.
Maybe let all the commentators like us get some sayings in.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to start bringing stuff up, nobody's going to want to race anymore.
Dare I ask why?
Because I have terrible ideas, apparently. But
I meant more for sayings, like for note jokes.
Oh, gotcha. I don't know. I think they do update them every now and then. That'd be worth asking, I think. Russell Jr., there is currently not an option for permanent boss pass. I think there was a patch done at one point that allowed for boss pass. It was like sped up boss pass or something. And yeah, Madewalker is correct. The only thing that is absolutely 100% accurate and always happens is that the very last world will be World 8.
And there's 4 levels that will have something that will stay the same no matter what. Antlerz and 5-9 are always going to be auto-scrollers due to their placement. One of the forts is always going to have a Tanuki suit because the pipe is at the top of the ceiling. And the pyramid level is always going to have buzzy beetles to break the bricks to avoid any sort of a soft lock.
Indeed, and I do apologize. I apologize for nothing. I have to give a shout out to one of my very favorite fans of Titus and Cass. I hope you guys are doing awesome today.
Russell, if there was a permanent boss bass, we really should be focusing on the match, shouldn't we?
So far, so good. Looks like craigSMB3 is working on his World 4 level, and he is really just cruising at this point. Not a whole lot going on. Just making good time so far. He's got a lead. He's holding on to it, and as soon as I said that, he is gone.
Joe Paul, isn't that like the CV2 randomizer?
Yeah, airships do not factor in as we don't have auto scrollers turned on for those. We really have just one rule here, and that's go fast. We got to go fast.
Faster, faster, fun.
And Russell, do not apologize at all for distracting us. That is what we are here for. That is what we do. We do enjoy in interacting with the chat. It makes it a lot of fun. I love it. I love having the chat involved because, you know, we do this kind of stuff all the time. We could be talking about stuff, but if you don't know what we're saying, it doesn't matter.
Amen. And this is a pyramid stage, and like I said, this is one of the few stages where something does remain vanilla, and that the buzzy beetles will always be there to ensure that neither of the Cass, that's how I am normally. I'm just a loud Pokemon.
Antler's looking to take on World 6 airship here. Should be able to get an item here. It is a star. Unfortunately, not going to really do a whole lot of good here for him. I apologize. I mislabeled this one. This is not World 6 airship. It is World 7 airship. But Antler is working on the longest airship in the game. And definitely so far so good. It looks like Craig is annihilating the seat so far. A little bit of a rocky road start, but with that, he is headed in to take on the World 8 boss, Big Boss Bowser, as we like to call him, and get your guesses in. We are now at the point where we have another mini game, and that is Bridges to Bowser.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. And Craig just Jugum Clouds past the first stage of World 8.
You know, really safe bet there. You're never going to have to play that level now. You don't know what it is. You don't care. And because of how the pipes work, you're not going to have to go back to the other side of that. Unless you take a game over, which at this point, that's 11 losses that he would have to take. Does not have a hammer. I think that's a little interesting. Or maybe he does. He thought about that for a second.
My cat's breath smells like cat food. Thank you, Ralph Wiggum.
Looks like craigSMB3 onto a little something here. Finds himself at the hand bridge. Does not have another hammer. And is really debating what he wants to do here.
And he gets sucked in by Mono's Hands of Fate. And he takes an intentional death.
Absolutely. He saw 6-1 and said, nope, I'm out.
And there's another Hand of Fate.
Now craigSMB3 is on World 3. He can't take a death right away. Looks like he's going to go ahead and play it because he did get through the first hand stage. There are 2 in a row, so probably not a bad decision to go ahead and play this one. Get it over, said and done with, and you hopefully don't have to worry about that again.
Hopefully, the key word.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got just a little bit to go here for him. He has a fortress. He has a pipe on the other side. At this point, that could be the end of the match. He could finish off this fort and go through the pipe and be at Bowser's Castle. And if there's only one bridge, boom, game over. Definitely a useful cloud from one of our other racers, Animus United. He mentioned that is a good cloud. I totally agree with that. I think it's a really, really good decision.
And Craig gets sandwiched between a Boo and a Dry Bones.
What a place to be. That is highly unfortunate. Wasn't able to get over the P block, which is very difficult.
And Boom Boom gets a rare kill against Antlerz. I guess even Boom Boom should get a day in the sun.
Oh, he does. Every now and then, a runner will just get out of sync, and sometimes it does happen. You've got a lot of things you're thinking about, and unfortunately, Boom Boom just has one goal, and that's to take you out, and it looks like he got him this time.
What are you thinking about right now?
Looks like we got 2 boom boom fights, so I guess that.
Double the boom boom, double the trouble.
Alright, well, we did not see the lock break there, and we don't know if that is the one that was attached to the fortress that he previously had broken the lock on. He does have 3 icons on this one. The first is going to be the sushi hand level, so that shouldn't be a problem to get through here, hopefully pretty quickly, and it's the first one we've seen so far, so we don't yet know if, or what the item is.
And it's going to be an anchor. Now, in a randomizer, in normal game, the anchor anchors the airship, but in this, the anchor serves as pretty much a wild card. It could be at nearly anything short of a warp whistle.
And last I heard, it could also not be a hammer as well. Your obsolete's bringing on the rarest of rares, saying that the anchors build bridges. And if that were the case, this would be a really broken sea board game or randomizer, however you want to call it. That would be worth watching for sure.
Can anchors build bridges?
No, they absolutely cannot.
A wild tanuki canoes, a band? I think I may have spoonerism.
Animus United with a hot take there.
And it's a 1 bridge, and Craig's on his way to Bowser, and he's gonna go for a hammer suit.
Absolutely. I was kind of wondering the same thing. There was 3 pipes at the beginning. One of those could have taken him to Bowser, and I've actually seen that before. We were in the middle of a July 4th race. It was a best of 3. And Teats did not check the first pipe, decided to check the other one. Ended up playing a whole bunch of fortresses. Turned out the first world, or the first pipe there, was the one that took you to a 0 bridge Bowser. And that was absolutely terrifying because Teaks played almost all of World 8. His competitor came in, played 1 level, or I'm not even sure he played a level, and was able to get to Bowser and beat him first. It was pretty heartbreaking.
I know Craig's almost at Bowser. He's just... Oh, and he loses a fire suit to a fireball and takes a fall.
Yeah, not only did he take a damage there, he also... Oh!
The
anchor suit!
Oh! That's gotta be lucky.
Hey, you're at the very end. You might as well give it a shot.
And he loses it to a dry bones.
Oh, this is getting scary for sure. Antler's doing his best to catch up. I have got to applaud the efforts of Antler's here so far. Just how incredible has this comeback been? I mean, he was down. It took him like 15 and a half, 16 minutes to get through World 3. And since then, 26 minutes later, he's already on World 7. Looking at the fortress, he's just got a piranha right after this. 8-2. Who cares? We're done. We're out. Now he's at the piranha and is going to be taking on Ludwig. I gotta applaud the guy. He's done a great job.
I have to confess, if I had had the bad luck he had with 5-8, I probably would have forfeited. Because I'm a wiener like that. And Greg's finally going to get to Bowser. All he has to do is put him down, and it'll be the end of dog racing.
Indeed. I'm just... Chrono, what happened was Antlers had a start that took 5.5 minutes to get through the first level. And then the first world, he had a game over at the end, which meant he had to start all over again. So he ended up having a game over, had to go back, play the first level again, and then take on Blindy again, and finally was able to get through. What a terrible way to start it, but what a fantastic fight back from Antler.
And with that, get your GGs out for Craig as he finishes. Let's see what his official time is going to be.
It looks like the official time for craigSMB3 is 43 minutes, 52 seconds according to race time. A very fantastic job. Get your GGs out for craigSMB3 for sure. And with that, here in just a moment, we do have 7-5. We talked about it. There it is. Antlerz44 doing his best to get through here, but he does forfeit here in just one moment. And in answer to Real Sam Gamgee,
So Antlerz is forfeited?
yes, Antlerz went ahead and forfeited to go ahead and get on into the next room. We'll be getting the next race started here in just one moment. And for Real Sam Gamgee, yes, Antlerz is new to SMB3. Maybe not surprising. 5-8 make fools of all of us. You don't get the resources. You're not in the groove yet. And that's why I have to applaud Antlerz44 here. What a comeback. World 8 as craigSMB3 was finishing up. Well done. I mean, well done. For a start that took 15 and a half minutes to get through the first world. Wow. We're going to be getting the race set up here in just one moment. Jopo, yes, 7-5 is one of the worst levels to get, if not for the fact that it has a lot of scary monsters in a small space. It's also scary because it takes a long time, and there is a lot of things that could possibly go wrong here. It's going to take us here just another minute or two to get set up. So if you need some more Swedish fish, or if you need to take a break, now is the time to do it. We will be getting started on the second of the two races between these two runners here in just a moment. So don't go, well, I mean, you can go anywhere, just don't close your browser. Obviously, you're not going to want to miss what happens next. We're going to be racing Antlerz flag set here, and it's going to be a good time. So we'll see you here in just one moment.
In the meantime, how's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, just chilling, Jaded Faith, having a good time commenting with Growlwolf. That's right, Reigning Elementalist. Game 1 is over, Antlerz forfeited, and we're just getting set up. That's right, Jaded Faith, a wolf and a cat. Or rather, a wolf and a cat Pokemon. Cat wolf, alone. Russell, that was my joke. Although, as odd as this is going to sound, I actually liked Dog more in that show. I don't know why. I just thought Cat was too uptight. I don't know. What did everyone else here think about that show? You know, they made a video about scientifically accurate cat dog. It is horrible. It could be, Jaded Faith. It could be. What about stuff like the Angry Beavers, Jopo? Or Doug? They didn't bring that show back. I love Norbert and his voice. Nick McKay. Lord. Do 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 do. Oh god. Right, so we're almost ready while my sadistic partner Growlwolf gets some maniacal seed up.
Oh, you know it.
You heard that, and I'm glad you heard it.
Looks like Jaded Faith, when they see Growlwolf, thinks of Garurumon. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't really know Digimon, so I'm going to have to look that one up later, but I hope that's not a bad thing.
What kind of a surname is Mayonnaise? I always wanted that myself, Wilksy. It's like, hi, I'm Patty Mayonnaise, and this is my dog, Mustard. You need to get out of here.
Looks like we have 3 1-ups in the title screen of this randomizer seed. I can only hope that that's really exciting because that's going to be something that they're going to be looking for during the match.
And we start off with World 6. And it's mercifully just a simple sand level. No Bigfoot, mayonnaise isn't an instrument. Any other questions?
As we see 2-2 start here, not a problem, hopefully, for our 2 runners. And just like that, we've got Antlers off to an early lead, was able to get off and out of the Tears of Shame here real quickly, and is now going to be looking for the next level as quickly as he got into it.
Horseradish isn't an instrument either. Oh, and Flawed, that's Tommy's brother. Chucky's has a sister named Kimmy, and I know way too much about Nicktoons.
Antlers going for a Hammer Brother fight is rewarded with a mushroom, and decided to also go for the Toad House that we just saw craigSMB3 do. Now we have the pipe game occurring. You've got 2 pipes. Let's see which one goes where. Should be interesting to see if either of these actually help or if it's not going to matter at all. And just like that, we have Antlers locating the first fortress that we're going to see played, whereas craigSMB3 is going to go after Fort 3F1. We have a divergence.
Dun dun dun. Antler seems to really be wanting to make up for how he started last time, and he's doing a pretty decent job.
Oh, absolutely. And at this point, I love this. This is the reason I love Randomizer almost more than anything else, is the fact that we now have a divergence. And there's a good possibility one of these guys is right. It was not Antlers. Now, unfortunately, Antlers has to go back and play 3 up. Whoa. There's a third fork.
And I repeat, dun, dun, dun.
Oh, how interesting for sure. It has to be in the block. Neither one of the runners has seen it so far. Antlers didn't break the lock. craigSMB3 didn't break the lock. Neither one has the right information. Now it's all going to be who picks the right level, who gets to the fort fastest, and is able to get through and carry on with this fight of World 6, the Ice Capades level. Antlers going back just a moment to see, wait, did I miss something? And looks to go ahead and fight another Hammer brother.
But this time it's a twin Fire Bros. And he gets a hammer out of it.
What a play.
Film Springfield saying, Flim Springfield saying, oh, 5-9, one of the 2 levels that we cannot turn auto scroll off. And Craig going up against Antler's old enemy 5-8 and getting crumbed.
What a start. What a mind twister. Right now, the only thing we know for a fact is that craigSMB3 is playing less levels than Antlers is going to have to. Because we can see from craigSMB's screen that the level where 6-7 usually is in fact a level, which means the fortress has to be at the top of the level, or the world, in the middle. So where that bridge is in the top left corner of craigSMB3's screen, it's going to turn into a fortress.
And Flim Springfield saying Doug turned an entire generation of kids into anxious wimps.
I apologize. I was actually incorrect. That was not a fortress. The fortress is in the middle. I don't think there's an advantage here. I don't know who's in the lead.
And that's what we like most, not knowing what the heck is going on.
Absolutely. We've got at least another level. It's going to be the tanks for Antlers, so not a bad level to see here. Whereas craigSMB3 is actually going to be on to World 3's Fortress 2.
I think it's actually called In the Army, where you can be all you can be.
Indeed, and if you want to be a Monty Mole, this is the army for you. So, I don't know. I mean, Antlers had to play 5-9. craigSMB3 had some issues with 5-8. Which one was worse? You tell me.
And we got a blue boomerang jumbo bro.
What a crazy set of circumstances. I have to wager at this point that craigSMB3 is actually on top right now. Strictly because he has less of a road to travel back to Lemmy's castle and played less levels. So I think craigSMB3 is actually in the lead here. Antlers is not far behind him, though. He's going to have to take the road back to Lemmy here, and we'll be going after him in just moments.
But we got to wonder what Antler's reaction is going to be to seeing his old nemesis.
Well, he won't have to play it, though. So unless he decides to go through, there's literally no reason. This is the last level before the castle.
And Craig's the first one to make it to Lemmy's domicile. Let's see if our maniacal twin has a full circus or just a single sideshow.
Joe Poe in chat has a very valid point, and that is Antlers has a hammer. So if World
7 Craig, Lemmy is just a one-trick pony tonight. One hitter.
If World 7 comes up, if World 2, there's a couple of worlds I can think of right off the bat, including World 3, that if you're jump at the very end and break that lock and be through it, it doesn't matter that you're just about a world or a level down at this point. You're a world ahead if you can pull something like that off because he has a hammer. that craigSMB3 does not have. We're not done yet.
And we start off with, we go on to World 5 next.
A very easy start at this point. It looks like craigSMB3 has found a tower to start. So there's going to be nothing on the left-hand side. I am curious to see, though, if he's going to have to drop back down on the right side, play those levels in order to advance on. We'll see if that happens here.
And we've got a boss bass in the sky for Craig. One morning I shot a Koopa in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I'll never know. Thank you, Groucho Marx. He even has a mustache.
Indeed, and his Antlers is now on to World 5 as well.
Both of them are actually both of them are actually within a good range of each other.
Absolutely. We had a terrifying start to the matches earlier, but Antlerz has done a really good job of getting through it quickly, succinctly, and doing a great job all around. Go ahead.
You go ahead. I was going to say we see the rare double coin heaven ship, but you go ahead.
Yes, we absolutely do. And I was going to make note of the fact we do have a fortress on this right side. I'm curious to see if either or both of these runners play it. I think it's probably not a bad decision, though, to go ahead and skip it, because we do have a blue lock at the top.
Makoba, would you say it's a nice blue suede shoe? And Craig with a strange glitch slide. I'm not sure.
craigSMB3 finishing up 6-5 here. Antlerz is going through it as well.
I should point out, this is another stage where one thing is always going to be the same. There is always going to be a leaf somewhere, because without it, you cannot complete the level.
Absolutely, and as we just saw on Antler's screen, he did lose that, so he's going to have to go back and find another one. So the fortunate part is you always know you're going to get a leaf. He decides to go back through the right pipe again. I'm not sure what's going on there, but whatever feels comfortable. And with that, craigSMB3 has just picked up a hammer, so the value of that hammer has gone down a little bit. We'll see if he decides to utilize both in a double Rock Smash World 3. We'll see if it comes down to that. craigSMB3 with World 41. He's going to be going for a Fire Flower amidst the scariness of a Chain Chomp, and unfortunately he does have to give it up to one of the Mimic blocks, and will end as a Mushroom Mario, which isn't the worst thing in the world. At least you're not small.
And Craig going for the clip.
I think it's a really good
getting some fanfare. That may not be the best situation in this.
I don't think it's a bad idea. He had a little bit of an issue earlier and ended up really taking a lot of time to get through a level. I think the extra lives at this point are more for peace of mind, and for that, I don't hate the idea. I am very curious, though, because Antlerz has not played the coin chip yet. I'm curious to see if he decides to go back and play it.
And Craig finally gets the clip. I believe that was the 7-1 clip, if I'm not mistaken.
It was indeed. It's a fun one. It's one of my personal favorites. And right now, I am scared for Antlerz. He has not gone for the coin chip.
But Antlerz gets the clip quicker than Craig does, so he may be able to close the gap.
He does, but the thing that concerns me right now is that coin ship had a hammer. And if Antlers decides not to go back and play it, the hammers are now tied up. Now, granted, they are pretty equal right now, but craigSMB3 is still ahead as he goes into World 6 Fortress 2. And it's stuck behind a slow walker. You love to hate to see it.
Like, get out of the way, laser bones!
I do have to agree with Made Walk Herd. I do believe it was 3 as well. He finished, he was like going through at 292, and usually that's 3 depending on how you run it. But even then, 2 or 3 is fantastic. Getting those clips in early, it really helps. It kind of helps build your mojo. It helps build your momentum a little bit. So very well done either way.
Build his mojo. Is he like Austin Powers?
Maybe. But where there is a blue fortress and a blue lock, those are absolutely connected. And now we find craigSMB3 in World 5's airship in World 5. Thank you, Fred. And it's going to be a Roy fight here.
Oh boy, Roy. Oh boy, Roy.
So at this point, our hammer count, as far as I can tell, is 1-1. But both runners are now in their fight with Roy, who is a beefy boy, Roy. And it looks like we've got a guess for World 3 next. I think I'm going to have to go with World 4 this time.
I'm gonna have to go with World 1.
Oh, I got to tell you, after the first race, we saw a little bit of a struggle with 5-8 with World 3. At this point, Antlers is looking like a new man and really playing well. Kudos.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
So this is very interesting. We do have a double hammer on the side of Antlers, but he says, "Nah, fam, I'm good." Decides to cloud early on, so he definitely has the lead. He has a hammer. Use it on the lock.
I think maybe he's saving the hammer for when he really thinks he needs it.
Newsflash, he really needs it.
Hey, his actions, not ours.
No, you're absolutely right, and I could be wrong. I see another pipe there, and you've got 2 hammers. Now, craigSMB3 did just take a death on his level, does not have a cloud, so it's not going to matter. He is going to have to play this yet again, and Antlers is blazing through World 8 Fortress 1. Animus United, I sure hope so. These are his flags, so hopefully he does know that hammers break locks.
Antler's waiting for the cycle to continue.
Looks like
Oh, but he doesn't get the fire kill on Boom Boom.
craigSMB3 taking a P-Wing to the level, said, "You know what? I'm done playing this. I'm done messing around. We're done." So as he finishes 6-3, he does go for the double rock play. I find that very interesting. We've got 2 very different mentalities going on here.
And both Antlers and Craig get a P-Wing.
Oh, this is so interesting. And both players now onto a free Windy. Oh my word. Yeah, Animus United is absolutely correct. So in the time it took Antlers to play 8-1, 8 Fortress 1, and craigSMB3 took the same amount of time for 6-3, they're now basically identical as we go into World 7's Fortress, and we're waiting for Windy at the end. I think the question is, how bad is Windy going to be?
How much Windies did she have?
So far, we got a 1 count. Another good hit. That's a 2 count. 3 is going to be it.
She just had a regular burger meal for today. And Craig having a little trouble with Wendy, so that's going to give Antlerz like a 3-4 second advantage.
Absolutely. As we see Antlers falling, we're going to go ahead and guess the next world as well. I've got to go with 4 still. We haven't seen that yet.
I got to go with World 1, same as a Grenadinator. Why did you do that? I like being transformed. Take this letter and go. Ungrateful.
We would like to welcome those from SpeedGaming 4. They just rated with a party of 126. Definitely welcome. We're in a race between craigSMB3 and Antlerz44. A very exciting match so far. We had craigSMB3 take the first one. You could probably designate that. I apologize. But currently we do have Antlerz showing up and really playing well.
This could be one of the first. This could be only the third match so far in the entire tournament that has been in a 1-1 situation.
Yeah, I definitely have to be honest here. That is a really good chance. And Grenadinator, I have to agree with the exact same question. Why? Why don't play Hammer? And I don't have an answer for you. I really truly don't. You've got a pipe here. You don't know where the other one goes. You've got 2 fortresses. You know they're going to show up somewhere. The time advantage here could be huge. He's just got to use the hammer.
I think maybe he's confused.
Maybe. I don't know, whatever the case may be. We might have to talk to him after this one. But, I mean, you've got the lock there. You already know where the pipe is going. It's got to be on the right side of the map.
And raining, yeah, it's from last race. It's a glitch. Craig hasn't won yet. We don't even know if he's going to win at all.
No, absolutely. And the biggest thing is we do not have a winner until Bowser falls.
Well, he was saying because winner's still on the overlay.
Oh, right. That was from the last one. I'm still trying to catch up because I'm a bad commentator.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
All right. That should be coming up here in just a moment. Hopefully get this here. If not, you know, we'll just kind of share the wealth. If craigSMB3 gets the winner for a while, maybe we'll throw it on Antlerz. I don't know. But regardless, Antlerz maybe debating on the rock now. I think that's got to be the best choice at this point. It doesn't use it.
Okay, now even I'm wondering, Antlerz, you know you have the hammers. Although I know we're not supposed to diss the players at all.
No, that's why I'm on this side of the desk and not actually racing at this point. I get to say things like that.
I was told that we really shouldn't be disrespecting them.
I don't think it's so much disrespecting. It's part of the strategy. You know, we've got a lot of things going on here, and obviously there's 132 things that are going through Antler's mind right now. I feel like there could still be some feelings from the last race. You know, that definitely plays in some of these best of threes or even just 2 matches like this. You know, you kind of get bogged down a little bit, and especially as we see a lot of things happening and transpiring, you know, sometimes maybe you don't know exactly what's going on. Fortunately, craigSMB3 also has to play it. And who knows, maybe Antlerz is holding it for the World 7 that's still coming up, maybe World 4. You know, there's a lot of reasons Antlerz is holding on to his hammers right now. So, you know, like we said, we're not done until Boss Bowser falls. That's it. We are still waiting on Boss. We're still waiting for Bowser to finally get the score, take a hammer to the face, whatever the case may be. And, you know, Antlerz is still ahead. He is still ahead. He's on World 6's airship right now. He's going to be fighting Morton here in just a moment. Nothing's lost here yet. I just would have played it differently. get some shout out of love here in the channel. We got Angelic J14 just gifted a tier 1 sub to Stewie Cartman. Thank you for that. On behalf of SpeedGaming, definitely thank you for that. A lot of really good things happening in the SpeedGaming community. If you're not already aware, No Kid Hungry is a marathon that is going on SpeedGaming's main channel. And what a fantastic thing to represent and to hold on to and everything else. I mean, if you want a great thing to get behind, do that. If you have an Amazon Prime sub, give it over to SpeedGaming this time. I'm not saying do it all the time. I'm not saying anything like that. I don't work for SpeedGaming. I'm just saying if you want to support a really good cause, do it. You know, there's not going to be anything better. So anyway, there's that blurb on it. We've got Antlerz currently in 7F1. Fort Knox as it's more commonly and appropriately named.
And again, that was the name I was trying to think of earlier. Fort Knox is one of those ones where there will always be a Tanuki suit in order to complete the level.
Indeed. And we did have another mention as well. Reigning Elementalist was talking about how Antlerz is the kind of player who wants to know all the possibilities. So I definitely have to appreciate this. I love strategy. I love games like that. And I am the exact same way. I love to know what are my options. And it could be very possible, I'm just throwing this out there, it could be very possible that Antlerz has realized I'm just now halfway through this seed. I have 2 hammers and that's all. It hasn't been an abundance, it's been a couple. He's playing smart, he's playing safe, he's playing a good match so far. I'm questioning why he hasn't used the hammers. I'm not racing. So Antlerz has a plan, I believe. I really truly believe that. He's already gone through the first fortress, which is Fort Knox. Made a good time of that. I think so far, let's just wait and see what he's got. It looks like Antlerz may be going for an almost free World 4, not exactly. It looks like 7F1 is the required fort, though. craigSMB3, where you going, dude?
And Craig takes a fall in Fort Knox.
Yeah, I do believe that was intentional because he is going to come back with a P-Wing and now go through and not have to worry about getting the Tanukis too. Whereas Antlerz is having a bit of a difficult time. We need to show him where the hidden item is here. That makes this level a lot easier. Stewie Cartman, we saw...
Where is the hidden item?
It's in the first pipe that we just saw. Well, it's the first of the 3 pipes. There's a Buzzy Beetle that's right over it.
Well, now you know. And, well, now I know. And I just ruined the joke.
Antlerz taking a really wise decision to use the star on the Boomerang Brother and gets a hammer for it. Okay, 3 hammers now. You have got to start using them. Hopefully we'll see a little bit of a change from Antlerz as he finishes off the first 10 stage that we've seen so far. Hopefully we get a little bit of a shakeup here. Antlerz could very well win this. And
gets a score.
Looks like craigSMB3 did go after that hidden item we were just talking about and was rewarded with a tail. Another star from Antlerz means a couple of gone hammer bros, and that should be the end of World 4 for both of our runners.
Thank you, Reigning Elementalist. Thank you for helping me with my joke.
Antlerz having a little bit of a problem with this World 2 airship. It is a scary one for sure, but should be able to get through here no problem.
Aren't all the airships scary? Let's see how much of a nerd Iggy is this time. Is it 1? Same as last time, a barely competent nerd.
craigSMB3 doing his best to get caught up here. Meanwhile, Antlerz is headed back to the King to return the wand and now get into World 6, which is World 7. I think it's World 7.
I think you may be on a slight on a slight delay or advantage for me. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I don't know. I was just making a guess. And once again, I am wrong. I do believe I'm like 0 of 5 right now. But
And now he finally uses a hammer.
what a heads up play from Antlers. With that P-Wing, he's going to fly over 7-6. And that's it. That's as good as clipping 1, maybe 2 times. Antlers has got this in the bag if he continues to play at this high level. Because now he only has a level and a hammer brother to go, most likely, and decides to stop and play an in card. I don't hate this.
Getting a little replenishing.
And folks, before you start guessing anything, I rolled this seed. I do not know either of these runners personally. I just rolled a seed. Antlers made an outstanding guess there.
We don't.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
I'm hoping that with the decision to hold on to the hammers and even just use one there, this is where Antlers gets to put on the gas and say, look, I don't know where you are, but I'm coming for you. This is going to be a fine battle until the very end.
And Atlas picks up a P-Wing from the Fire Bros.
Now, craigSMB3 does have a tail, but it's not going to be enough of an area for him to get the P-Wing. Unfortunately, cannot take the death either. He's going to have to go find another enemy. Clyde4523, there is a complete randomization. The runners get to pick a couple settings, such as hammers break locks. The level looks a little different. There's no numbers. It's only it's question marks in this case. But basically, other than that, it's all randomized. We don't know the world order. We don't know the levels they're going to play. Really, it's all just randomized. There is no pattern.
And Craig gets the clip.
Raining Elementalist, the reason it's bad to get the wand while in the air is it takes a little bit more time for Mario to fall. It is of a few seconds, but does make a difference if you're going for speed.
But if you can get, there's a clip where if you can get the wand, but you're halfway off the screen, you can skip the animation.
Absolutely, and if you do clip the scene, it does actually drop you to the bottom because the game thinks you're already there. So it just automatically or completely forgets the end of the falling animation. But if you do miss it, that is a lot of time wasted. And now Antlers, the first to get to World 7. If I were a betting man, I would say World 1 Fortress may actually be here because we do see a lock that does nothing except prevent you from getting to a mushroom house. And this is not that World 1 Fortress. This could be a very easy World 3 island for Antlers. Having just a little bit of a trouble here. Hopefully he can get to the escalator without any further issues. It looks like he will, and hopefully no drunk photo booths at the bottom or hot foots.
I think this is actually an elevator.
Did I say escalator?
Yep.
My bad. And it was united with a good point. It looks like Antlers does have some hammers for World 8. We'll see if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If he's able to get through it completely. Maybe not.
Lakituri, what can I say?
Oh, it looks like Antlers did not play the first Fortress. I think that is an incredibly risky bet because if craigSMB3 is right, we may have a leader change here. And we should find here in just one moment, which actually means Yeah, Animus United is absolutely correct. Antlers knows the way to get to Ludwig von Koopa's castle here, whereas Craig SMB3 actually found how to get there, or the lock to, or the, excuse me, the fortress to build the bridge to get to Ludwig von Koopa's castle. So right now it's just a race to see who gets there first.
Oh, I think Antlerz may have just wasted a hammer by accident.
There's a good possibility that frustration could build here for him. And that is going to mean the end of World 7 here in just a moment for Craig SMB3.
As Craig picks up a star.
And that is going to be an upside down orb, more commonly known as Bro!
I gotta try that. Bro!
Yeah, I think World 7 may be a good equalizer here. I think World 8 is going to be the greatest equalizer. Are those hammers going to matter? That is the only question we could possibly ask. Do those hammers matter? Because if the hammers don't matter, and it's a pretty free or even pretty linear World 8, there may not be an option for Antlers to utilize those hammers. As we go into World 8, though, let's go ahead and get the guesses in for bridges for Bowser. I'm going to go with 2.
I'm guessing 2 bridges. 2.
I'm definitely hoping for more than less. I think that may be one of the only ways Antlers gets back into this thing again, because that could be a very real opportunity for him.
And Ludwig only composing a commercial jingle today, and he ain't loving it.
Craig SMB3 doing his best to get through his level here. Trying to be a little bit on the cautious side, ends up taking a damage from a Paragoomba, who he's just now been able to de-wing. Craig is having just a little bit of a problem with 2-3 here, though, and does take a Goomba shoe.
Fun fact, in Japan, it's known as the Kuribo shoe.
Indeed, and Antlers is going to say, oh, I'll pass. I'm going to play something else. With that, we do have Antlers in the lead once again. Wow. Like I said before, until Bowser falls, this is anybody's game. Air Force for Antlers, 2-3 for Craig SMB3. A lot of things to choose from. At this point, I'm thinking it's very real for a 1 or a 0 for the bridges.
And Craig narrowly avoids getting hit by the Koopa shell. As Antlerz goes into the Air Force.
Indeed. And both players have picked the same pipe. Not a whole lot of divergence here, but I am curious to see if anybody decides to go back and play the first pipe in the Lava Lake level. You do have to go through the first level, or the next level. Maybe that's the call. And Antler's just doing his best to do the recon. At this point, no done command has been found yet. So Antler's just needing to know, hey, where am I going yet?
Stewie comments like, oh, and it's 1 bridge.
1 bridge indeed, which means there's more fortresses to choose from here. You've got the boat, you've got the tank here still, and I don't believe we've seen the fortress yet either. So 1 bridge required. 5F2. Why not 5F2? Folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have any nails after this, because this has been a nail biter for sure.
Ow.
The fortress has been found. It was played. It was a lock next to 5F2. Antlers. Does Antlers have this right? If it does not break the lock on this screen, does he go back for Bowser?
I think that may have been the right lock.
It could have been. Antlers just found it was not the bottom lock. Does he go find it? Does he look for Bowser? He does. He's going to go find Bowser. Is this it? Is Antlers going to be the first one into Bowser's castle?
Yes! Oh, but there's a level in between.
Zero Wing, you are absolutely correct. I still have my left hand, so we're good.
Wait, what glitch did Craig do, Solace?
I missed what Craig had done, but Craig is right behind him. We're maybe alone. Oh!
Oh! Boss Bass being Boss Bass showing why he's the boss.
What?
But Craig gets nom too.
Nom nom nom. What is going on here?
Somebody get the fishing boat. And Craig going for the hidden door. And Antlerz is going to be the first to get to Bowser with the hammer suit. But can he hold on to it? Antlerz gets the everyman's clip. And he's gonna try for the he's gonna just skip the clip and go for a trip. And now Craig's made it to Bowser's castle. This is neck and neck, and Antlerz makes it with the hammer suit, and with that it's hi Bowser. I was gonna say hi Bowser, goodbye Bowser, but apparently Bowser's being a bit of a fickle. This could cost Antlerz. This could cost him. It's neck and neck. Neck and neck. And Antlerz gets it! Antlerz has done it! Get your juniors out for Antlerz! And with that, Antlerz is going to finish with a time of 40:38. Let's see if we can get Antlerz in for a few words. This was such a close one. And with that, Craig has taken down Bazza, and get your GGs out for Craig. Finishing just short. And Craig's official time is 42:19. Guys, that's not fine in the chat. We're gonna try to get Antlerz and Craig in here for a few words. For this set, yes, Trails, but we've got another match coming actually in a few minutes after this one. With Ricky of Kokori going up against Dom. Yeah, today we've got a lot of matchups. Craig, would you like to come in for a few words? Craig, Antlerz, I see you both in chat. Would you like to come on Discord for a couple of words? We're just waiting for Growlwolf to get back in. We're having some technical problems. Oh, and I see Craig has entered the booth. How you doing, Craig?
That was exhausting.
Can you repeat that?
That was exhausting.
It looked exhausting, but you did pretty good. You got a 1-1 win.
Yeah, well, it's my first ever win. So, well, my first ever tournament. So, but yeah, that first 5-8 was harsh. I kept on dying, and I heard Ant died about 20 times as well. So.
And I see Antlerz has joined us too. Hey, Antlerz.
Hey, GG, Craig. Excuse me.
Yeah, you too, mate.
So we saw both of you giving it your all, but Antlerz, you had some difficulty on that first raid. What do you think was tripping you up the most?
Yeah, that's a very generous way of putting it. I died like literally over 20 times on that first level, and it's just like that was a really rough level to have after I haven't played this in like 2 months. But yeah, I turned it around a little bit. I got really lucky, I think, in the second race. At one point, my last power-up was a P-Wing, and I ended up using it. And the next level was 7- I want to say 6. The one with the like where you go in the door at the beginning. But
Yeah.
Which one?
I took an intentional death on 7-6, and then I clipped it first time, so I was quite happy with that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a tough one to get first try for sure.
Well, you can if you have complaints on the seed, you can blame my partner Growlwolf. He rolled it.
To be fair, I think the seeds were pretty decent. You had a lot of clouds, you had a lot of hammers, so it kind of was back.
If you thought they were decent, then I rolled them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second seed, honestly, I felt was not as bad as the first seed. The first seed, just because of that start, that was a really rough level to have to do as small Mario, especially if you're out of practice. But
Yeah.
after you got going in that seed, it wasn't too bad.
No, it was good.
Except I don't know how World 8 was. I forfeited immediately. I was waiting after that World 1 start to.
I think World 8, I think I did one fort, and it took me straight to Bowser's Castle, so it wasn't too bad. To be fair.
Nice. That's not bad at all. I wasn't as far behind as I thought, I guess.
No.
So what do you think you could have done differently in your races?
For me, not died on the first level 20 times. That would have been a start. But as far as like decision making, in the second race, the only mistakes I made were I went the wrong way to the fort in World 6. That cost me some time, and then I should have used the hammer in World 2 because I actually hung a hammer. Didn't end up using it, so that cost me a little time, but it wasn't anything too tragic.
Yeah, I don't know about the second race, but I heard I might have lost it on the last 2 levels going into Bowser's room. It was 6-1, and I decided to use a P-Wing and go into the secret exit, which then I didn't make it in time to hit the P-switch, which then I had to use a tail to literally get all the blocks out. So I think I wasted like 45 seconds there, and literally on the throne room I went into the lava and wasted another 45 seconds. So possibly it would have been, we probably would have been in like Bowser's room in literally the same time, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that hidden room may have been the deciding factor.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you definitely outplayed me for most of the races. I just got pretty lucky with a few of my decisions in the second race, I think. And that was, ended up being the difference probably.
But yeah, GG.
Yeah, GG definitely. Thanks for the races. It was fun.
Well, we're almost out of time. Do either of you have any final words you want to give to our viewing audience?
No,
For me, sorry. I was just gonna say good luck to Craig going forward, and hopefully you make the brackets.
Yeah, same to you. Same to you.
I appreciate it.
And do you have any final words to say regarding how you feel about the crew and everyone who's been helping put this together?
Oh, thanks as always. Appreciate it.
Yeah, massive GG to Brower for organising it.
Yep.
All right. Well, and I see my partner has just come back. Hey, Growlwolf. Everything taken care of?
Maybe not.
Oh, also go Michael Chandler tomorrow. Had to slip that in.
Wait, who's Michael Chandler?
He's a UFC fighter.
Can he beat Brock Lesnar?
Seeing as he's probably about 150 pounds lighter, I would say probably not.
I was kind of hoping he could. Okay, Growlwolf, is everything okay?
Yes, my internet decided to have a bad time right as Antlerz was getting to Bowser's Castle. So my nerves were high, and then the internet went out. I am very sorry to see that.
Oh, story of my life. But, Growlwolf, do you have anything to say to Craig and Antlerz?
Well played on both parts. I almost am sorry. I'm not, but I'm almost sorry for the 5-8 start. Absolutely terrifying on, I think, every angle. But honestly, I think, Antlerz, what a comeback in the first game. I know it took you like 15 and a half minutes or something for the first World 3, but you fought all the way back. You were in World 8 as Craig was trying to finish off Bowser. And I think that just really says a lot about, coming in strong, fighting really well. Craig, you kind of got into your momentum, you got into your niche, and was able to really do a lot as well. Just what a great match on both sides. You guys should both be very proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and with that, I believe we're going to be heading off for right now, but only for a couple of minutes while we set up the next match between Ricky of Kokiri and Dom. So stick around, everybody. And normally I would say we'll see you at the Mushroom Kingdom, but this time it's just going to be a matter of minutes. So stick around, everybody, and we hope you're having a good time. So now would be a good time to get a sandwich, a soda, go to the bathroom, do your taxes, call your Aunt Chuck, your Uncle Larry. Just stick around.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
See you later, guys. So, Growlwolf, are you excited for the next matchup?
Absolutely. We're actually getting that one set up here in just a moment. And Dom RTA has picked the first match, which is actually the one we just saw. We're going to get Hammers Break Locks. We're going to get a in-card game, so items are going to be a necessity here, I think. And we're going to have the question mark levels. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, absolutely. Same here. And after the match we just saw, I think anything could be possible. And for both Ricky and Dom, this is a very first match. In fact, it's a first match for Group A altogether.
Indeed, and it's going to be an exciting one for sure. We've already had a great one. craigSMB3 versus Antlerz44, both taking one. Well done. And folks, we are going to have to close this real quick. As Meowth just said, go get yourself refreshed here. We've got another 2 games coming up for you here in just one moment. We'll be right back.